So why Lord Krishna appears is described in Bhagavad Gita, and that's for 3 reasons. And the major reason is not what you might think that it could be. Krishna comes for the purpose of killing the demons, and these are some of the verses that mostly people might know. Nowadays nobody knows anything, that's a different thing. Sometimes early people might recollect that Krishna appears for these reasons. He points that out. Now why he appears? He's always present. In one sense he doesn't have to appear, he's always present. But do we have that vision? Do we have that understanding? Do we have those eyes? Like many times we do go to holy places. Holy places are very unique, essential parts of this planet, of this universe. And that's not unreasonable also. We understand that the planet has a certain frequency, natural frequency that it vibrates. We'll talk about that a little more maybe this Sunday. Krishna heard that? Doing class. Okay, so and the natural frequency, the same frequency, 7.82, is the frequency of our brain and heart. That's a natural frequency. Of course, there are many other frequencies which affect us in so many, pretty much negative ways that are mostly produced and influenced by the human beings. But this natural frequency is in harmony with our being, and if we live in that frequency, then actually we can restore our damaged health, consciousness, whatever it is. And we find that in holy places, there are certain places like this which are more natural, which are more peaceful, which are more regenerating, which are more spiritually affecting, than some others. And these are holy places. And why are those holy places? Because Krishna appeared there. Krishna performed pastimes, and these are known as tirthas, dham and tirthas. And of course, on those places also who congregates mostly, it's the saintly people, it's the sadhus, and many other people who come for purification. But because of sadhus also it is said that those places become purified. They regain their potency, they become recharged. Because what do sadhus do? What do sadhus do? They do everything in connection to Krishna. So that's why they invoke Krishna more and more and more to be present, to purify, to bless. So that's what the sadhus do. They remind everybody about Krishna. That's what they're supposed to do. Otherwise, Sayeva Gokarakla. Srimad Bhagavatam said, once I was in Nasik, and some from Sahara TV, they came and they interviewed, he's a foreign sadhu, let's get some interview. And I was a little heavy. Actually, I realized that later. So I don't know if they published that or not. They said, what's the use? I just quoting Bhagavatam. What's the use of coming to holy place? It's just like cows and asses, they also take bath. Unless one takes advantage in association of the holy people, that's what Bhagavatam says. So otherwise it's just some kind of material activity, maybe for some material benefit, but not much for the spiritual benefit. So we have to take advantage of spiritual benefit. And that's why also wherever we are, like nowadays, we celebrate this Janmashtami festival, so many places. So it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean that Krishna had to appear. Krishna had appeared, Krishna did appear, Krishna is here. It's not that it's just maybe Vrindavan. Of course we are having consciousness of Vrindavan. Prabhupada said that Vrindavan is a matter of consciousness. So he pointed out so many times, he said, even though I'm sitting on the roof of the New York building, this is Vrindavan, because Vrindavan is a state of consciousness. So when we remember Krishna, then it says Vrindavan, that means Krishna is present. Anybody knows in Bhagavad Gita what Krishna says about being present? Where is he present? Huh? He's present whenever his devotees talk about his glories. He's present. He's already present in each and everyone's heart. Where is the question of him having to be manifested? He's already there. But we have to invoke him. If we don't invoke Krishna, then how will he be present? Krishna not being present, what does that mean? That means material world. That means material consciousness. That means Maya. That's it, because Maya acts just like a parda, like a curtain or something that covers us from Krishna. There is no place where Krishna is not. But by illusion, then only we can consider, we can think that maybe this is where Krishna is not. But that's our illusion. That's our covering. That's nobody else's covering. That's our covering. Because Krishna is everywhere. You can't hide Krishna. Is there any cloud that can hide the sun? No, it's a joke. How many times? Thousands of times. I don't know how many times the sun is bigger than our planet. So nobody can hide Krishna, but because we want it. We don't want to think of Krishna. We don't want to see Krishna. We don't want to associate with Krishna. Then Krishna mercifully hands us over to material energy, say, okay, keep this fellow in illusion. He doesn't want me. And Krishna is not imposing himself. If somebody doesn't want him, he will step away. He will not disturb us. So if we want such kind of state of existence, then Krishna is granting us this. But we see what kind of state of existence that is, what kind of illusion that is. We are hoping in life for so many things, hoping to be happy, but where is happiness? Where is happiness? What kind of happiness that is? Yeah. That's why this world is just the world of, like you go to PVR here, cinema. It's a dark world. Dark means fear, anxiety, uncertainty. And then everything, this whole world is so dark, full of so many threats and dangers. And only in that dark environment you can be in illusion. So everything is dark, everything is set up in such a way that we may think, oh, and maybe we can enjoy this darkness, and then you're projected. Something is projected onto you or in front of you, and then you start identifying, and then you start experiencing joy and happiness, whatever it's projected on the screen. And this is what your experience then is. But as soon as somebody turns on the light, oh no, shut them down. We want to remain in this illusion. Why are you putting the light on? Why are you waking us up? Why are you disturbing? Why are you putting the light? We don't want reality. We want this illusion of dreaming, identifying with whoever the hero and heroine is. Why are you putting light? Why are you disturbing? So that's what spiritual life is. We don't want to be disturbed. Why should we think of Krishna? We want to be in Maya, dreaming the Maya's dream. Why should we remember Krishna? Because that's the primeval principle of spiritual practice. Satatam Kirtayam Tamam. To chant Krishna glories. To remember Krishna, Smartavyo, Vijatuchit. Sarva Veda Nisheda Sur Etayoreva Kinkara. Satatam Smartavyo Vishnu. Yes. So to always remember Krishna, to never forget Krishna. I mean, why do we want to forget Krishna? I mean, how ignorant we are, how foolish we are. Because Krishna is the source of everything. And then what do we end up? We end up with some kind of shadow, we end up with some kind of unsubstantial projection that is just a projection. And what is the use of any projection? Can you hold upon it? Can you get benefit of it? There may be so many interesting things going on, but there's no substance. It doesn't satisfy us. Let's say you have some nice, now fasting is going on, you have some nice rasgulla and halava and this and that, all kinds of, anyway, we won't mention. If that's projected, what is the use of that projection? Will it satisfy your belly, tongue? Will it satisfy? It won't satisfy. So this is what material world means. It's just a projection. It's just a projection. I was just recently one big mall. So many things, big lights, ACs there, and so many shops, this and that, just to attract people to spend money. But what is it? What is the point? And then maybe you buy something, you're inspired, maybe this will make me happy. You buy it, bring it home, and then what? Does it make anybody happy now? Then you see some other advertisements and then think, oh, I have to buy this, I have to get that, and then you go back and then purchase this or order this online. So that's material world. It's just a place of illusion which is distracting us from the real goal of life, from the real substance, and that's Krishna. So Krishna can appear. He's ready, Vasuparna, like the best friend, he's sitting on the same branch of the tree, but we just don't want to bother about him. We are busy eating bitter and dry fruits of that tree, mostly bitter. And so Krishna is waiting. When are we going to turn to him and recognize that he's there? So that's why he's looking for every opportunity to present to us what that real substance, what the real essence of existence is. And just like Prahlad Maharaj, he saw Krishna everywhere. He saw Krishna even in the pillar, Paramal. Krishna is present in every atom, but we just have to learn how to see Krishna. That's what the spiritual life is all about. We have to learn how to see Krishna, because he is everywhere. It's not that he's not present. He's present everywhere. And if we want, he will manifest himself. But of course, if we don't want, then he will remain hidden. He will remain hidden to our illusions, trying to explore and exploit this material world, thinking that we're going to be happy. So it's not just a matter of holy places. We can make a place of holy place. We can spiritualize so many things in so many places. But that's up to our consciousness. So our consciousness has to be purified. And that's done by this process of chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Because this Maha Mantra is the most powerful method for reviving our dormant consciousness, as Prabhupada said. Most powerful method. And it, first of all, it cleanses us from all the anarthas, from all the unwanted things. Just like we know when Krishna appeared, he appeared. And it's a very powerful description. But it's also very, very relevant because, yes, in our hearts there are so many anarthas, right? There are so many dirty things. So Krishna won't appear in the dirty heart. The heart has to be clear, has to be purified. So all Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya has to go. Has to be, like it said, Devaki represents the fear of material existence, fear of Kamsa. So she had that fear of Kamsa. Kamsa represents this material existence. And she had that fear. And then by that fear, all the anarthas are removed. All the anarthas. And when all the anarthas are removed and become purified, then who comes? Comes Lord Balaram. And he sets up the place for Lord Krishna to appear. That's why Balaram is elder kind. He appears earlier. But as a servant, actually. Everybody is servant to Krishna. So he sets up everything. So we also have to set up. We have to purify our heart, so that Krishna may manifest. He's already there. He's in the region. He didn't yet enter the heart because we don't want him to. He's within the region. Because we don't want to notice him. We don't want to acknowledge him. But he's waiting. He's waiting, just like Vital is waiting. He's waiting, when is this fellow going to turn towards me? So that's why Krishna appears for various reasons. To kill the demons, re-establish principles of religion, because due to influence of time, these things happen. But primarily, we said Krishna appears because he wants to have association and exchange with his devotees. That's what he wants to do. And he's coming here for that reason also. Material world is a place where he regains that relationship. He enjoys that relationship also. He doesn't like to see us being trapped here in this material existence. And then so many wonderful things happen. Once we surrender to Krishna, once we approach Krishna, then that's the beginning of bliss, blissful existence. As a description of Gopakumar, there's one boy from Govardhan. He goes and searches around for the greatest devotee of the Lord. And that's one of his journeys. And then in the next one, he goes throughout the whole universe, even reaches the spiritual world. But then he qualifies, he becomes purified, he becomes sufficiently educated, so to say, spiritually. And then again he starts the journey now for eternity, going back home, back to the spiritual world. And then such a wonderful description. He meets Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva encourages him. Then he goes to Vaikuntha. he meets Lord Narayan, who tells him, well, where have you been so long? What were you doing? Why have you forgotten me? You kept me so much in this stressful position. And he goes to Ayodhya, and he goes and to different places because he really wants to meet his beloved Gopal. That's his most worshipable deity, Krishna in Vrindavan. And then he comes, and then when Krishna embraces him, it's very interesting. There is a description, a little bit intimate description, that when we come to the spiritual world, depending on our rasa, as described in Madhurya Kadambini by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So depending on the rasa, Krishna will purify us fully. Krishna will bless us. So what does that mean? Somebody who is in Dasya, Krishna will touch. He will touch either with concha like Dhruva Maharaj, or he will touch with something. And then the person will regain its position. And somebody who is friendship, that Krishna will embrace. And Krishna will embrace very tightly. And then that person will like swoon in ecstasy. And then somebody who is in Vatsalya, and Krishna will embrace also, but then he will put his cheek on that person's cheek. And then somebody who is in Madhurya, what do you think Krishna will do? Krishna will embrace and Krishna will kiss also. So that's what so many wonderful descriptions what happens in the spiritual world, how Krishna satisfies his devotee according to his Svarupa. So this is actually what we are really longing for, but there's nothing as such in this material world. We're wasting time. We're wasting time in this darkness trying to enjoy something, some kind of projection that has no substance. That's what we are doing. We are wasting time. So then when we start practicing this spiritual process, when we start chanting Hare Krishna Mantra, when we start performing some little service, then you can see, then you can feel it for yourself, how this dormant awakening of love of Krishna starts blooming more and more and more and more and more. And then what means spiritual practice? So the more one gets involved, the more one surrenders, the more one gets engaged, the more one can have that kind of experience. So that's why at least this day, like you see, many people come just once a year to the temple practically, right? Okay, only on Janmashtami. That's all. That's nice, at least once a year they come. No. That's why it's so crowded too. No, but that shouldn't be. Why only once a year? If it's so important, then why we don't come every year? Krishna is appearing. It's not just Krishna appears on Janmashtami. Krishna is every day appearing. 4:30 in the morning. Every day Krishna is appearing. Why only on Janmashtami? Why we don't come every day? Why we don't have darshan of Krishna every day? And as close as possible. And as intimate as possible. Why only once a year? If you really like and appreciate something, would you do that as least often as possible? No. You do that as often as possible. No? So that's what should be realized. So anyway, gradually, hopefully, we pray for everyone that they will gain some more and more taste for spiritual process. And in that way, think more of Krishna rather than think whatever Krishna can give them for their some illusory, material positions and so-called happiness or whatever. So then that's what Krishna is providing. He is merciful anyway. He'll do anything to bring his devotee back home where it belongs. So that's at least, if nothing else, then we say on this day, we try to do something more additional, try to remember Krishna a little more, try to sacrifice a little more, do some little tapa, a little fasting also. That's there. So that Krishna may bless us. So therefore we all pray to Krishna to give us his blessing, to give us his mercy, so that we can really realize our original position and obtain what really belongs to us, what we are really supposed to inherit, instead of running away from this so foolishly. So anyway, Krishna appears in so many different ways, I can say. He's ready to manifest like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He can come, or Lord Varaha from the nostril of Brahma, or he can come like Kapila Dev, apparently, like any one of us. Or he can come in so many different ways, like we said already, Nrsimha Dev out of pillar. He can manifest from anywhere at any moment. There is no limit, there is no restrictions. The only restriction is our own consciousness. How much are we willing and how much we are ready to invite Krishna in our lives. Okay, so we'll stop here 7 o'clock. Any questions or comments? Anybody wants to ask anything about Krishna's appearance? Yes.
You gave three reasons why Krishna appears. I got the first one, 15 demons. What are the other 2?
How you did it? Parikshit, you must have learned everything from Shukadeva Goswami. To kill demons, to establish principles of religion, and for sake of his devotees who are suffering without Krishna and separation. The last one is the most important. People raising hand or you feel like? No, I gave you. Something new? Anything else? Yes.
So most of the time,
I can hear you.
most of the time, Ram and Krishna, so he appears in various like Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar. So they always comes in a cousin's form. They do not come from same mother. Like Lakshman and Ram, they comes from different mother. Similarly, Krishna and Balaram also comes from different, but they are same. So why every time they participate?
They want to engage more jivas in their pastimes, so that's why. And more mothers. No? There was even one Ramayana where they're completely, I think Kaushalya is the only one, but the other 2, there are actually 3 more. 3 other mothers. They're not, like who comes together? Shatrughna and Bharat, no? Who comes together? No, Lakshman and who is it? They come from same mother, somebody. Lakshman and Shatrughna, yeah. But there is another Ramayana description when there is another mother.
4 mothers.
4 mothers, yeah.
Everyone comes from one mother.
Yes. So that's why more mothers, more living entities get the opportunity to have that kind of relationship. It's not restricted, it has to be one. And there's so many living beings who aspire for such kind of Vatsalya mood. So then they get a chance. So it's not necessarily on the eternal platform as such, like manifestation of beings on the as an internal potency. But even those who are Jiva Tattva, they get such kind of opportunity in the material world to get that kind of close association with the Lord. Okay? Something else? Yes?
Why did Krishna created Maya?
It's always there. It's always there. But that Maya, it's Yoga Maya. There's no problem with her. But we are the ones who misuse it.
Most of people.
Yeah, but we are the ones who draw actually something that is negative out of it. And she has no issue, she is not negative, she is always Krishna's servant. But because we try to exploit her, then we get trapped. So then it's our problem, it's not Maya's problem, it's not Krishna's problem either. We don't know how to handle something, that's why we get in trouble. So that's why material energy responds in such a way. Okay. Tulsi, you want to say something about the appearance of Krishna? No? Okay, so then